Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel. This is the first video of our Basics of Stock module with ACCU360 ERP series. In this video, we are going to cover the first and foremost thing, which is the settings that are related to the stock module. We will also discuss the impact of various stock settings in this video. So let's get started. Now to navigate to the stock settings, we need to open the stock module here. Then we have to open the settings. Then we have to click on the stock settings here. And here you can see that all the settings related to the stocks have appeared in front of us. Okay. So now let's one by one start understanding each and every setting here. Okay. So first one is item naming by. In item naming by, we can select item code or the naming series for our stock items. Like we can configure item code, like we give a unique code to an item and then it will be searched, or you can say visible in our inventory by the item code. But when we configure the naming series, in the naming series we can like create a new item and the system will automatically pick up the naming series in the progressive manner. Like if you have configured a naming series ABC and then 001, then the system will automatically select the next item in that series would be ABC002. Okay, so this is what the function of item naming by or naming series is. Then we have default stock UOM, which is unit of measurement. Here we can, when we create a new item, okay, so there is a default unit of measurement will be added there. We can change that at the time of the configuration of the item, but if a person do not want to configure each and every item's unit of measurement, then it can select the default UOM. Here we will select NOS, which is numbers. Okay. Then it is action if quality inspection is not submitted. So if this setting is used if the quality inspection is not submitted, then the item is stopped. That means you cannot use that item till the quality inspection is submitted. Okay. And then you can also change it to warn. If the quality inspection is not submitted, you just get a warning mail or message to that the quality inspection is not submitted, please submit the quality inspection. Okay, so we will select the stop here. Okay, here over delivery and receipt allowance. Okay, so here we can set the percentage of over delivery and receipts. Sometimes it might happen that we have ordered some quantity and the supplier has sent us the more quantity than we have expected. In that case, we can set the percentage of the over delivery or receipt here, in which the item which we have delivered or we have received will be over receipt. Okay, like the system will allow the over receipt items or over delivery of the items. Okay, now here is our default item group. In the default item group we can configure the group of the items in which the products will go by default. Okay, once we have configured this, the item which we create will default by the system by default will select the item group which we have configured. Here we can select the default which have already been set, like consumables, all item group, sub assemblies, services, raw materials or products. Okay, or we can create another item group as per our convenience. Okay, so we will leave it blank here because we will configure the item group in a separate video. Okay, Then we have a default warehouse, which is stores. Okay, we can also change this default warehouse. We can select finished goods, work in progress, stores, and we can also configure new warehouses here. Okay, I will also keep it blank because we will also learn how to configure the warehouses and the management of warehouses later on in the next or upcoming videos. Okay, then we have an option here which is stock frozen up to. Okay, this option is used generally when we want to freeze our inventory. It allows the users to freeze the inventory levels as of the certain date, usually the end of any period, which allows our company to continue doing business while still being able to go back and analyze the inventory levels and values as of the freeze date. Okay, we also have an option here where we can select the role which can edit the stock frozen uh, option. Okay, like the if I select the administrator, only the administrator can freeze the stock. Okay, or can release the stock. We can use the website manager, inbox user. We can give the permission to anyone who can just freeze the stock and the release the stock after that date. Okay, then we have sample retention warehouse in which our samples would be retained. Okay, then here we have valuation method, which is FIFO and moving average. Okay, these are the only two options which are allowed by the government to maintain our inventory. Okay, so FIFO is like first in, first out, in which the stock which comes first in our inventory is the first one to out. And then here is the moving average, which we can also say weighted average, in which every stock we purchase is distributed towards all the items in our stocks line. You can also check out to our basic inventory valuation method video to get a deeper understanding on the inventory valuation methods. Okay, so here we will select FIFO only. Then we have free stock older than days. So, okay, here we can select the date for the stocks which get automatically freeze. Okay, if like I select here 90 days. Okay, the stock which are older than 90 days will automatically get freeze and will never be released till we go and manually like release that stock. Okay, then we have use naming series option. We can also configure which naming series we want to freeze or not. Okay, then we have show barcode field. Here we can select the barcode for the inventory, and here we have convert the item description to HTML. Then we have auto insert price list if rate is missing. So if we do not have configured any price list for our goods or inventory, as soon as we enter the first price after a purchase or sale, the price list will be automatically configured for that item. Okay, then we have allow negative stock. Sometimes it might happen that we already have a stock and we forget to enter the opening stock in our books. Okay, so if we click that option and we sold the more items than we already have, then the system will allow the negative stock, which is the stock will get negative till the opening stock which we already have we enter in our book manually. Okay, then here we have an option which is automatically set serial number based on FIFO, which means the all the items in our stock get the serial number on the base of FIFO. Okay, then we have set quantity in the transaction based on serial number input. Okay, so this function is basically means when we deal with serialized item, each individual item is tracked separately by its serial number. Okay, so when we input the serial number during a transaction, the system calculates the quantity of the items involved in the transaction based on the serial numbers we have entered. Okay, for example, if we are receiving 10 units of a serialized item but only input 5 unique serial numbers during the goods receipt transaction, our software will set the quantity to 5 based on the serial numbers provided. Similarly, if we input more serial numbers than expected quantity, our software may prompt that you to correct this discrepancy. Okay. Next setting is raise material request when stock reaches the reorder level. This setting is really important for the automation of the business. So when our stock reaches to the reorder level, the material requisition is automatically generated by the software. There will be a notification if we select this option also. So system will notify us through our email that the material requisition has been generated automatically. Okay, then the next is limit quantity based on batch. Okay, so we have also mentioned that the serial number only from that batch will be fetched, else serial number will be fetched from multiple batches. Okay, let me explain you with an example. So let's suppose we have four batches and we have five items in the each batch. Okay, so one batch having five items with five serial numbers. Okay, so if we select this option, then only one batch serial number can be fetched by the system. Okay, so if I select 10 items, then the 10 items will be separated into two invoices, because in the one invoice the system can only fetch up to 5 items, because there are only 5 items in a batch only. Okay, so now let's save these settings and go back to our home page. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you find the video helpful. Stay tuned with our basics of stock module with ACCU360 ERP series to continue learning about the basic setups of your ACCU360 ERP and improving the efficiency of your organization. Thanks a lot for watching.